Alright, From fans, I need to talk about episode 7, These Fragile Lives, because holy moly, what an emotional episode. From that intense clinic scene to one of the most devastating endings we have seen in the series, this episode shows us exactly why hope is such a dangerous thing in this town. Because we need to talk about what's happening to Fatima. This is not just a mysterious pregnancy anymore. Something much darker is taking control. And even that connection to Tabitha's memories, those childhood dreams. The show's finally revealing how deep this rabbit hole goes. Welcome to this video, my name is Christian from Fromville Premiere, and let's begin. Okay, so let's break down what this ending means going forward. And from fans, we need to talk about 3 major game changers. First, whatever is happening to Fatima is not just about a pregnancy symptoms or cravings. That final scene with Tilly confirms the town is creating something else entirely. Think about it, we have never seen the town transform someone like this before. Sarah heard voices, Abby had her breakdown, but Fatima, she's becoming something else entirely. And that's terrifying for what's coming next. So why Tilly had to die? Her death is not just about shock value. Look at the timing, she dies right after giving that speech about life being a grand adventure. The town sending us a message, hope is dangerous here. Plus her death is going to trigger those accusations mentioned in episode 8, synopsis, breaking the community exactly when they need to stay united. Second, those ruins Julie and Randall discovered are not just a random location. According to episode 8 synopsis, thresholds, Julie didn't go back there, and here's what's interesting, she's being drawn there just like Fatima being drawn to that rotten food, just like Tabitha was drawn to those stones. The town's orchestrating something bigger here. And third, speaking of orchestrating, notice how carefully the town is positioning everyone. Ellis and Fatima cannot stay at Colony House anymore, separating them from potential help. Boy's authority is being challenged right now. And Victor is desperately searching for answers. We can see how these are not just random events. The town's setting up some pieces for something huge. The real question is, what's driving all these changes? Remember what Martin said about the monsters being just tip of the spear? Well, I think we're finally seeing what he meant. We have heard the characters mention something different out in the woods.
Something different. We heard it both times now.
Whatever was banging around last night sure as hell didn't sound like those things back in town.
They're just the tip of the spear.
And it looks like the town's trying to tell us something. I mean, look at how the pieces are connecting. Fatima's transformation is getting stronger right when Julie and Randall discover those ruins. Meanwhile, Tabitha's confirming that she saw this place in her childhood dreams, just like Miranda did. None of this is a coincidence. The show's building towards something massive, connecting to what we're gonna see, the root cellar that Elgin found. And Elgin says this is where it's gonna happen. What's going to happen, and how does it connect to what's happening to Fatima? Now, we need to talk about what's going on also with Tabitha and that reincarnation theory, because this connects to the second part of this, and this is the reincarnation. And think about it, Tabitha is not just having familiar feelings about this place. She literally dreamed about those exact stones as a child, just like Miranda did. And who find those stones? The same Jade who's been seeing the symbol Christopher saw before everything went wrong. The connections are impossible to ignore. Miranda was chosen to save the children, and as we have seen, Tabitha was drawn to the same mission. Jade continues to experience hallucinations and obsessing over those symbols, just like Christopher did. And look at the timing of these revelations. Right when Tabitha confirms her childhood connection to this place, we got Julie being drawn to those ruins. The town is not just recycling its patterns, it's putting the reincarnated pieces exactly where it wants them, like a chessboard. And this connects to Victor because the episode 8 synopsis tells us that Victor is going to be struggling to recover those buried memories about the town past. It's episode 7 and he continues to search for answers. But what if they're not just memories about what happened? What if he's starting to recognize these patterns too? We're seeing him in a location where he wants answers. He wants Jasper to talk. And even Henry is worried about him, which is the reason that he goes to Sarah. He feels that he may find answers in the basement. Well, now one of those huge part of this episode, and that is the line of Jade, because this changes a lot of things. This confirms that when the characters arrive in Fromville, it's because of a reason. He says, if fate exists to Tabitha, you never really had a chance, did you? So think about that. If you're seeing this place in your dream as a child, if you're chosen like Miranda, were you ever really free? And this is not just about Tabitha anymore. Think about it. How everyone arrived into the town. The Matthews family, Boyd's family taking the wrong turn. We always assume that these were random accidents, but what if they were not? What if, like Jade says, these people were always meant to arrive here? If crossing into From is not random, if people are being selected as Jade suggests, then what other thresholds are we about to cross? This could explain why certain people have different experience here, why Sarah hears voices, why Julie and Randall share trauma, and Mariel, why Fatima's transformation is so unique. Maybe they were all chosen for specific roles in whatever game the town is playing, both good and bad. Which connects to Boyd's journey in this episode because it's showing us how the town is systematically stripping away his authority and, most importantly, his ability to protect the people. 3 major confrontations just shattered whatever control he thought he had left. First, that tense scene with Christy at the clinic.
Do your job and figure it out.
When Boyd snaps, "Do your F job and figure it out." It's not just about Fatima anymore. It's how he's watching his daughter-in-law transform into something he cannot fight. Then comes that gut punch conversation with Donna. When she says Ellis and Fatima cannot stay at Colony House, she's not just rejecting Boyd's family, she's telling the town's protector that his own daughter-in-law is not safe to shelter. But it's that showdown with Acosta that really shows how far Boyd's fallen.
My God.
When Acosta calls him out for playing make-believe in his hand-me-down blazer, she's saying what everyone else is thinking. Boyd's power was always based on his ability to keep people safe, but after losing Nikki, after Tianchen, after everything that has happened, power is slipping. The town breaks Boyd, and by doing so, it breaks the town. This is also shown in that conversation between Kenny and Acosta, because it's not just about 2 characters chatting over some tea when Kenny explains how everyone arrives thinking they will be the one to figure it out. He's giving us a masterclass or From 101. And the irony, you either adapt or you lose your mind. This is not just advice, it's foreshadowing to everything that we're gonna see. And I feel the reason that Acosta is going to be the new sheriff, or she's going to take control of the law in the town. Let's see what happens. And this episode is all about how the characters are being broken. We see it in all of them. And we need to talk about that Ellis breakdown, because holy moly, what a devastating scene. When he's raiding that medicine cabinet, he's looking for anything to help Fatima. We're watching a man who reached his breaking point. Even that confrontation with Boyd. What nightmare am I supposed to be afraid of? And speaking of nightmares, let's discuss that creepy camera with Elgin. That camera leading Elgin. Think about the timing, right when Fatima's transformation is accelerating. Suddenly technology itself is guiding people to specific locations, like we see with Elgin. The town is not just affecting people anymore, it's using objects to position them exactly where it wants them.
Is this really where it happens?
And here's something crucial about that driving lesson. When Julie and Randall are sharing stories, the town keeps connecting this too through their shared trauma. And based on episode 8 synopsis, there's a reason for that. And hey, even that scene with Henry and Donna at the bar, we see how the characters are being broken, even Henry who just arrived. Now let's talk about the final 3 episodes, episode 8, 9, and 10. No huge spoilers, just the synopsis that we have from Rotten Tomatoes. Because episode 7 pacing was I feel like this episode was a 0.5 episode. A pause before episode 8, 9, and 10 are released. It's From doing what it does best, moving its pieces before all breaks loose. But let's talk about this final 3 episodes, because From is setting up a classic 3-act structure. Episode 8, Thresholds, is our Act 1. Those accusations start flying, truth come to light, and everything begins to be chaotic. But it's that word, thresholds, that's key here. We're about to cross some lines that cannot be uncrossed. Episode 9, Act 2, someone goes missing, and in From, disappearing is usually not possible in this town. This connects to what Randall said about dead not being the worst thing that can happen here. We're all about to find out what this is. And then episode 10, Our Act 3. Boy's running out of time to save someone he loves. Randall's trauma comes back full force. And Tabitha's journey takes a shocking turn. Here are my predictions for episode 8, titled Thresholds, because based on everything we have read and seen, this episode may change a lot of things. After Tilly's dead, all eyes are going to be on someone, but who? I think the town is going to be clever about this. Instead of people just saying Fatima, they're gonna be questioning about everyone else. I mean, Sarah with her voices, that makes sense. She's the one that has done a lot of crazy stuff in this town, so maybe. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Julie finds in those ruins. And I'm looking for Boy's toughest challenge yet, knowing that Fatima did this to Tilly, what he's going to do about this. And my final prediction, where Victor buries memories, it's not just about the past. I think he's going to realize another part of the answers. So let me know your theories in the comments below. What do you think is really happening to Fatima, and your predictions for episode 8. Also, I'm not going to be discussing those leaks. I have not read them. I have not seen any of that information, so I don't want to ruin myself anything about what's going to happen. So please don't post them in the comments. They're gonna be deleted anyway. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Christian from Being Premiere, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye everyone.